Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how to do this, where you have two buttons that sit right next to each other on your Squarespace website. This is the problem with the native setup and why we have to customize it. So if I go into the page, you'll see I added two button blocks here. Cool, but I want them next to each other. So one option you have is to click and drag one, and just like that. Now they're next to each other, but they fill up the page. They don't look right. Also, the formatting, I want them to be the same size, but I actually want this one to be filled in. So it's the main call to action. And then this being clear as it is now as a transitional call to action. But I can't do that with the native default settings. So here you can try to say, for example, force this left, and then force this right, where it kind of looks like the part. But the big problem here is this doesn't work, because if you go to mobile, it will look like that. And that definitely doesn't work. And you can maybe try to custom code this, but let's just stay away from that. So to make this happen, there's only two things we need. We need custom CSS, and we'll need to put a code block on the page to make this work. With that said, we have this plugin for sale on our website. If you want to go there, check it out, purchase it. We also have a few variations of it, where if you want to have 4 buttons next to each other or various customizations to buttons like this, we have a few options for you. So definitely worth checking out the links in the descriptions to find out more about that. But here I'm going to show you an overview of how this works and how to think about this. So the first thing I'm going to do is here, wherever I want to add the block, I'm going to click the plus sign and then add a code block. So I'll type that in here and add in a code block, not an embed, code block. Okay, so let me show you a little bit of what we've done. We've added blocks, we've added the class, we've added links, we've added it to open in a new page, and you'll see here it says main CTA, and that's what you see here. There's no customization or design yet, but it says main CTA. There's an extra space here, so I'm actually just gonna get rid of that for now. Here, we added a few spacings between the buttons, and then we go into the second button. It goes to a new link. It does not open in a new page. And as you can see here, it says learn more. And what I'll do actually is I will change this to watch the webinar. Cool. All right, so that is set. Now I am going to go into here and hit save. Now I'm going to go to custom CSS. We had two classes, button 1 and button 2. And so what I'm going to do is add in this code. This code is styled for a different site, but I'm going to add it in, and then we'll style it the way we like. So first thing I'm going to do is add this in. And just like that, you can see it came to life immediately. They both have simple hover effects, and we could customize that further. But let me walk through this now. All right, so let's style this to our website. So the first thing we're going to do is go up here, and I'm just going to start working on some of the code. Let's take a look. So display is fine. Font, it's inheriting from the site, which is perfect. It's making it bold, which I do want to change. So you'll see here font weight. So I do want to make the weight a little bit thinner, but it looks like this font isn't ideal for that. So if I change it to say 500, it's a little bit too thin, and then 600 doesn't exist. So it just goes directly to 7. So I'm going to leave it at 7 for now. Might change it later, but you see where you could adjust that. Now, the background color, this is your brand color that you may want to add, or whatever call to action color you want. I'm going to keep it as this blue because I like this blue. But whatever your brand is, you could use there. You'll see the color here. This is for the font. So if I change this, you'll see it'll change the font color for where it says main CTA. So if I do this is like a bright blue. You can't see it because of the background. Let me do that. So it changes the color. You can see all of that is adjusted. So let's go back. That's getting really ugly. Okay, back to white here. Good to go. Next, vertical align middle. This is great. All right, and now I'm going to do transparent. And you can see here, that looks really nice as well. But as a main call to action, I want it to be solid. I want it to be filled in. So I'm going to add that back in, move this back, leave that there. So the border is there. You don't necessarily need it, but in this case, I'm just going to leave it. Transformation, this is how it moves when you hover over it. So you can see that ease there. It just goes in and out. If I got rid of this, you'll see it just happens right away. There's no time between it. So this makes it a little bit nicer. Cool. So that is that. Next, we're going to go to the hover effect. So here you could see it goes to this darker color. Let's just say I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do black so you could see it. As you can see there, it adjusts the entire button to full black, and I could do that here for the background. And just like that, the whole button changes. It's really nice, super smooth, really clean. Whatever you want, you could adjust it to your liking. It actually goes with this brand really well to go from blue to full black. Next, there's some customizations here for mobile, which is really nice as well. So you can go in here and then see how it looks. As you can see here, again, the buttons before were hideous, but now we're telling it to take up the entire space and stack on top of each other. Again, with a really beautiful look and feel. With just this simple effect, the site is literally gorgeous. So right there is a bit of code. You could adjust the spacing, all of that. Let me actually go back up here to the main page. Maybe you want to adjust the padding. This is pretty big padding. So you could do that here. It says 20 and 35. What this means is top and bottom is 20, left and right is 35. So let me adjust it to show you. Top and bottom, I'm going to change to double, 40. So you see how it grew like that? It's a really big space. So I'm going to go back to 20, and then here you could adjust it. So if I want, I might do 15, and I might, yeah, that looks nice. And let's say 25. Actually, I'm going to keep it at 35, or let's see, 30. 30, that's like a very standard call to action. If I want to be a little bit fancy, a little bit more sophisticated, 45, maybe 50 can be a nice call to action as well. It's just a really solid button. It's a little bit big, but I'm starting to like longer buttons like this on websites. Anyway, I'm going to go back to 35, keep it there, and I'm actually going to keep the padding at 15. We are good to go. All right, so the next thing is now we have the second button. Here, I'm going to adjust it so it looks way more like this and the effect, which is this like light gray. And then you hover over it, it gets really dark. All right, so we're going to play with that now. It just kind of goes to a light gray now. Again, a lot of these settings are exactly the same or the same option. So you could go in there and make adjustments. So you could see the background here is this EEE. So let me change that, just show you a little bit darker. That's what that looks like. And let me go here. I could actually just test this and see what these actual colors are. And we could look and go from there. All right, so back to this button. Yep, so this button, the color for the actual button is here. And you can see here, border and background color is this. So I'm going to copy that, move this out of the way, and go back in here, and then add this in just like that. I also need to add it to the border. All right, so you can see here, with our background being gray, it kind of looks a little bit off. You could see that the color is just a little bit weird to sit on top of each other. They don't accent well. But for now, I'm actually going to change it just back to EEE and keep it there. It just looks really nice already. I need to change the padding because now this button is a little bit bigger, but we'll make that adjustment now. So I'll change this to 15. And watch the webinars long. 35 looks good. Cool. And we're good to go. So this all looks good to me. I like that this is bold and this is not. The font size is pretty big too. I like bigger than smaller, but you could make adjustments here as you like. If I change that to 16 and adjust this to 16, feels nice, works well. Cool. All right, so let's now look at the hover effect. It's going to this darker gray here. So you can see background color, border color, and then the color of the actual text all stays the same. Let me take a look here when I go over it. This does an inversion, so let me show you how that works. I am going to set this to full black and then full black. And then from here, we change the actual color of the text to, let's just say, full white. So you'll see that there. The feel is really nice. It's clean. It's smooth. At the same time, the transition is 350. If it wasn't there, it happened very quickly. So you'd hover over it and it just show up. Squarespace even has it. You can see that there. Well, let me click out. There we go. So you can see it there. But let me add that back in. Cool. And one other variation I want to do of this button, because typically this is clear, right? We talked about it to look more like this. So I just changed it to this gray here, 888. And I'm actually going to leave the text darker. It sticks out a little bit more. So that's nice. And there we go. We now have both buttons there. They look really nice. They work really well. Again, you can make adjustments as you like. And just like that, we have added these call to actions to our site. Simple, easy, effective, beautiful. Mobile looks great as well. Again, we have the full walkthrough on our website. Just check the link down below, but you could easily add these. And now if you actually want these to show up next to each other on mobile, this is how we do it. So I'll go back to custom CSS. And so currently we have these two buttons to sit on top of each other. It gives them a little bit more space, and it just truly looks really nice. But you may have an interest in putting these buttons next to each other on mobile because the native buttons in Squarespace don't do that. Well, with just a bit of an adjustment for the code, you can see here that you could easily adjust the buttons to fit and look exactly as you like on the page. And you could actually style these exactly as you like as well. Once you do the styling for everything, and let me go out of this, you can go back into the page. This is the coolest part, especially if the links are set up. You just go in, copy the code, and let me hit save. From there, you can easily take this and go to other parts of your site. And let's say you want to add it here. I'm going to do code block right there. Oops. There, add it in. It's all highlighted. Let me get rid of that. There we go. That, and then click on it. There we go. So now you can see it's down here if you wanted it, or if you wanted it to show up somewhere else, you could have it show up here. Again, just add in the code block, and it's that simple. Now, some of you may be saying, why didn't you not provide the code down below? It gets complicated quick, and we update this often. So if you want the full code, go check it out on the site. There's a ton of options for you on how to get started, and there's different ways you could customize these buttons or start out so it looks beautiful and great, and you actually pull off design styles that are very much in the UI UX world at the top tier level. So enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions below, and see you guys in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching this video. If you got value from this video, hit that like button. When you hit that like button, it tells the YouTube algorithm some important information, but it also lets me know that you got value from this video. And if you did get value from this video and you want more content just like this, consider subscribing. We publish new videos every single week. Friday at 1 p.m. we post a new video, if not multiple videos throughout the week. If you have any questions, drop a comment below, but I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.